driver? You. Would you date
if he owns the bus? If he owns it. If he owns the bus,
See, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem.
Okay.
Because the standards and requisites, and I'm not talking about him laying on his sofa playing video games all day. I'm not talking about that. But the standards and the criteria that we use to measure men is off for who we are as women and who they are in this society. I would date a bus driver if he loved driving the bus, if he was a man of integrity, if he was good to his mama, if he treated me well, I would date a bus driver. But we think that it's another human being's responsibility to give us what we need instead of us building together. I can build with a bus driver. I'd have my little stash over on the side in my prenup, but I could build with a bus driver. So I think some of the criteria that we look for in the reality of today keeps us unhappy, keeps us angry, keeps us imbalanced. And then when the men show up, we want to beat them up because they're not living up to our standards and criteria. And it's not working, beloved. It's just not working. So it's not that it's bad or wrong. It's obsolete. It's obsolete. We have to come up with a new way of being. I don't believe in carrying a man. A man has to do for himself.
Let me say this, and I would give a shout out to Iyanla Vanzant for that interview from Eboni S. Williams. To say, and I don't want, and I know most women has a preference, right? They want a preference of which guy they want to end up. You know, I think in her standards, Eboni K. Williams basically wants a high value man, and that's fine. But to disrespect, and I'm just gonna be real with you, to disrespect a guy that, you know, that drives buses for a living, or to become a truck driver, or become a postal worker, or a police officer, etc., because you're better than them, or because you're educated, or because I have making 7 and 8 figures. But here's the reality with this. A lot of men don't care about that. All they care about is what you're going to do for them. In other words, what are you going to do to make them be happy, to make them be successful together? What Eboni K. Williams don't understand is that men nowadays don't want a woman that has an attitude problem, that don't want a woman that be a masculine women, and this is what modern Western women do. Be masculine. And, you know, we all thought, and I'm going to give a shout out to this documentary movie that I watched the other day, Diary of a Tired Black Man. And the documentary came out years ago. That during that time that, you know, men are tired because how women treat them or disrespect them. But then, fast forward to 2023. Most men are still tired, but this time they're going to do something about it. Now, when we have preference, they have a problem with it. They're being offended by it. And that's the issue. Like, you know, I mean, when it comes to women and their standards, we can't say anything. That's their preference. We'll respect it and move on. But when men has their preference or what they want in a woman, they have an issue with it. Like, they call us misogynist, or you don't like women, blah blah blah. And I believe this is mainly the reason why the red pill is created, the manosphere is created, and now the passport bros is created, because men is now a step back, and men is now to realize that women here in the States, or women who have modern Western or, you know, masculine tendencies, don't want to deal with that. They don't want to deal with no headache and no drama. So when you have a woman like Ebony K. Williams, and I don't know her, because I heard she was engaged with a white guy, and that's just beside the point. The point is that you may want those things, and that's your preference, and we respect that. But just because you want it doesn't necessarily mean a high value man going to accept it. Because even high value men won't deal with that. They won't deal with the issue. They won't deal with the problem. So what I'm saying is that women like Ebony K. Williams have to understand that men nowadays, this ain't the men in the '90s. This ain't the men of the 2000s. That we have to shut up and accept what women want. Now we have preferences. Now we have something to say about it, and they have an issue to it. So I think we as men has to realize that it's people can try to shut us up, but they're not gonna allow us to shut us up, because at the end of the day, just like women has preference, we do too. Y'all let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Lions Den's gone. Deuces.